Tons of new skins, tons of new emotes, and tons of nerfs. We are back with another patch, and not only, but we have a new giveaway too. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we will unpack all the good stuff that came with patch note 2.1.56. So sit back and enjoy the video. Let's start with hero adjustments. First, they have hit Blue with their small but meaningful nerf. He was just a bit too durable for the damage he brings. So his passive damage reduction per stick goes from 4% down to 3%. He's going to be annoying, just note why not your die levels. Hey folks, we are back with another giveaway, and this time it's Leo Mode Lunar Fish skin. If you have been eyeing for flaming Leo Mode skin, make sure you are subscribed to the Kazuki Official. All winners will be announced on February 13, so don't miss your chance to be one of them. Now the first highlight, Eve gets some power back. They reverted some of the previous patch nerfs, and the most important part is skill 1 uptime improves from 3.5 to 2.5 seconds to 3 to 1.5 seconds. That's a big difference because Eve lives on repeated cast. On top of that, her ultimate also gets quality of life tweaks, smoother camera zoom out, bigger kill notification during the ultimate, and it won't block important UI like the surrender button, so she's not just stronger, she's cleaner to play. But right after that, developers pull back Novaria. They are reverting some of her previous buffs. Skill 2 damage is reduced from 230 to 405 with 100% magic power scaling down to 230 to 380 with 90% scaling, while the 4% target's maximum HP part stays. And to make sure she can't spam for free, her skill 2 mana cost jumps from 50 to 90 to 60 to 110. So she still pokes, but she plays more of it and hits slightly less. Now Cyclops gets a nice little buff back. They reverted some nerfs, and his skill 2 magic bonus goes from 50% to 55%. It's a simple change, but Cyclops is all about repeating damage, so that extra scaling matters a lot across a full fight. Then we have Valir getting toned down. They reverted some buffs by hitting his tankiness. Base HP drops 2440 to 2380, and HP growth goes from 165 to 155. So if you miss position, you will actually get punished instead of surviving for free. On the other side, Zoshin gets a small buff back. Her skill 2 hold damage cap increases from 35 to 70 to 35 to 80, so her late value improves without making her early wave clear too crazy. Now Audit gets pulled back a little. HP growth drops 175 to 165, and her ultimate shield is reduced early from 1400 to 1800 to 1200 to 1800. So in early fight, she won't feel as safe while channeling ultimate. And Zask gets mixed set of changes, but overall it's enough to how freely he can play. Skill 1 mana cost becomes much heavier, 60 to 90 to 80 to 110. While skill 3 mana becomes a bit cheaper, 60 to 120 to 60 to 105. But the big hit is his ultimate. Cooldown becomes worse, 45 to 35 to 48 to 40, and mana cost changes 100 to 200 to 120 to 180. So his big form is less spammable and he is more mana restricted overall. Now for gold, developers are basically doing the classic compensation nerf. Last page, his skill 1 cooldown got improved, so now they reduced the damage from 270 to 495 with 80% magic power scaling down to 225 to 425 with 65% scaling. So he still cast more often, but each cast hurts less. Whale is also getting pulled. His mana cost for skill 1 is lowered, but the developers decreased his base damage on his ultimate. He can cast skills more often but with less damage. After that, we get a bunch of mana economy tweaks, and you can clearly see the developer pattern. Let's free spam. Valentina gets a small buff. Skill 2 mana cost becomes cheaper, 45 to 70 to 40 to 60, so she gets more flexibility in fights. Eudora also gets a small buff. Skill 1 mana cost 70 to 95 to 65 to 90. But Farsa gets the opposite treatment. Skill 1 mana cost becomes 60 to 90 to 65 to 90. And skill 2 becomes heavier to 50 to 80 to 60 to 85. Rexana is also at the end of receiving a nerf. Her mana cost for both skill 1 and 2 are increased by 5 to 10 respectively. Some idea for Xavier, whose skill 1 mana cost jumps 30 to 55 to 45 to 70. So early less spam is going to hurt your mana bar. Selena's skill 1 mana also increases 60 to 85 to 70 to 95. And Farami's skill 1 mana goes 70 to 120 to 85 to 135. So overall mages are being pushed towards more controlled casting. Now switching away from mages, Ixia gets nerfed because her laning was too strong. Her passive HP regen against non-hero units is cut in half, 20 to 10.
The more motivated I get.
And skill 1 base damage early drops 75 to 300 to 50 to 300. So she will be less oppressive in lane and less free sustain on waves. And Ruby gets a buff because developers felt she was too gold dependent. They increase her skill 1 damage to early to mid game pressure. It shifts from 90 with scaling and 120 to 245 with 90% total physical attack scaling. So she comes online earlier and can actually trade better in EXP lane. Load also gets a buff. Developer increased the coefficient for the number of ultimate hits based on attack speed. So the faster your build, the better your ultimate actually scales and hit count. Now revamped Dollars gets a big field change. Developers reduced his mobility, but boosted his damage and control. His enhanced basic attacks now hits harder and his skill 2 no longer dashes on the second cast. Instead, it applies a 30% slow for 2 seconds. So less chasing with double dash, but way more reliable sticking power. And finally, Obsidia gets an adjustment because attack speed build was underperforming. They buff her by making attack effects inheritance 70% to 100%, but reduce basic attack base damage 80 to 70 to keep it balanced. Now moving into battlefield adjustments. First up, Enchanted Talisman. They increased its magic power from 60 to 75, but they also increased the price from 1870 to 2070. So it's stronger, but it won't be cheap early spike anymore. Next is Tome of Evil, and this one is more about smoothing out mana growth through the build path. States are adjusted, magic power 35 to 30, cooldown reduction 8% to 10%, mana regen 4 to 2, and the build path changes from Mystery Codex plus Book of Sages to Magic Necklace plus Book of Sages. So you reach the regen curve in a cleaner way with slightly better CDR value. Then Glowing Wand gets a price adjustment to match Sea Halberd level. Price goes from 2150 down to 2050, making it easier to pick up. On the opposite side, Holy Crystal gets nerfed because the magic power value was simply too high. Magic power goes from 185 to 165. After that, there are few small mage items buff. Feather of Heaven, magic power 55 to 60, Concentrated Energy 70 to 75, and Stallion Sight 70 to 75. So overall, several mages builds get slight push. For defensive items, Oracle is slightly nerfed. Its shield and HP regen amplification goes from 30% down to 25%. So healing or shield staking is a bit less oppressive. And Guardian Helmet gets a survivability buff against burst damage. The HP regen from excess damage increases from 20% to 30%, meaning if you survive the burst, you recover fast. Now for emblem adjustments, Fighter emblem gets nerfed because it was too universally good. Hybrid attack drops from 22 to 16, and Marksman emblem gets an identity change. They replace 5% lifesteal with 5% adaptive penetration. So it's less about sustain and more about consistent damage through defenses. Now there is a new mode in the advanced server, and trust me, this is crazy. We will make a separate video for this, so make sure you are subscribed. Moving on to surveys. Starting with Hayabusa Starlight, you can already tell what's happening here. This one is a safe, nobody complains pick. Whereas the other concept is clean, but the assassin identity starts slipping here. His third design is a unique one, the type that people either worship or fear. Now, anti-god theme. This theme is actually interesting because it doesn't feel like a random repaint. It feels like a fiction. CC fits that perfectly. Now she belongs to a new storyline, not just a new outfit. Suyu goes the opposite direction. It's intimidation first, subtly never, the kind of concept that sells even if you don't play the hero. And Xavier is very close to being the clean winner. Tiny tweak, but it becomes way more original. Okay, switching gears. Because Xbox is basically the how expensive do you want this to feel survey. One direction feels like it could get compared to the other skins if you don't adjust the face wide. And those comparison will not stop. Another direction is that full boast from fantasy. But those designs live and die by effects. If the effects are too loud, it turns messy fast. And then you have got the cleaner futuristic direction that usually translates best in game. Plus the heavy premium looking option that screams make this higher tier. So yeah, this one is basically readable premium versus final boss fantasy. Now let's talk Phobia's epic. This is the one where the comments always split because every concept is trying to be the villain of the season. One is expected aggression route, it works, but it's not surprising. Another feels like it belongs to a scored universe, like it could connect to the other heroes later. Then you have got the oppressive aura direction, the kind of design that doesn't need to be loud to feel dangerous. And if you also got the brute force fantasy that can look insane or turn into an effect overload maze if they overdo it. But the premium clean power direction that one feels engineered to win wards. Closing with Brody, this one is basically who looks the most premium on the loading screen. Another has that elegant villain vibe, clean, stylish, but quieter. One goes aggressive and loud, but loud can backfire if it feels familiar. And the calm evolution route is safe, but it needs God tier effects to stand out. Alright, survey results are here and you guys did not disappoint. Starting with the Starlight of Haya. His Theme 3 took the win with pure chaos energy. Anti-God Xavier dominated the squad, X-Book Design 1 burned everyone else down. Phobia's Theme 5 stood tall like the final boss, and Brody Design 1 was a clean sweep. If you want to survey images early and the real debates before they spread everywhere, jump into our WhatsApp channel. Your votes are sent directly to the developers, so make sure to vote accordingly. Moving on to upcoming skins. We first have the legendary Itachi Uchiha skin. Naruto 2.0 is now live on the advanced server. I suggest checking out this video to find out the details. Next we have the yellow flesh of the Hidden Leaf Village, another legendary skin in the game. Up next is the collector skin of Grog from the Titan series. And finally, we have the new Starlight of Zetian.
Crowned by heaven's mandate, my blade.
The skill effects for all these skins are absolutely wild. If you want to see them in action, then check this video out. Let's check on the other updates now. First up, we have the new skill icons for two legend skins. Alpha Legend and Saber Legend both received updated skill icons with the sharper effects and a much cleaner visual styles. Next, we have the brand new Starlight Killing notification. The overall design looks more aggressive and premium compared to the older Starlight version. A nice little flex every time you secure a kill. After that, we are getting 4 new borders. Plenty of new options to refresh your profile, and not gonna lie, I like rabbit design, kinda looks like Ghibli. Now let's talk about the new battlefield effects. There are new effects coming for Exorcist and Starlight themes. I wonder how the animation for these will look. Now we have some Starlight updates also. Hanzo upcoming Starlight skin is getting a portrait splash art update, including both the default and painted versions. However, the release date for Hanzo's Starlight is still not confirmed. For April 2026 Starlight, Zetian is officially confirmed. The April Starlight Pass includes her default skin, a painted skin, a 1000 diamond painted skin. We also have new battle emotes coming to the game. This batch includes a mix of expressive, funny and reaction style emotes featuring different characters and moods. A new collector skin series trick has been spotted called Titan. This looks like it could be a new sub-theme or classification for upcoming collector skins. Grok and Hellcat are the heroes getting this tag. Time to check on some splash art. First we have Zetian Starlight splash art, followed by her painted Starlight version. Next is the Aurora Epic splash art with more elegant and mystical atmosphere. And finally, we have the Exorcist splash art featuring Saber, Ruby and Phoebus together, giving us a closer look at the overall tone and style of the Exorcist skin line. The season is also getting reset in the advanced server, and the Season 40 profile background and name card are all set too. Not only that, but Marcel is already setting his entrance on the rank lobby along with his UI. So guys, this wraps up the patch note 2.1.56. Do you like the adjustment given to mages? Or are you excited for the new skins? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So that will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.